What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Daniel, and welcome back to the video. Today, I'm doing race picks for the 2023 Goodyear 400. Let's go ahead and just jump straight into it. This week in the NASCAR Cup Series has a Darlington Raceway, the 1.34-mile racetrack for the 13th race of the 2023 Cup Series season. After this weekend, we'll be halfway through the 2023 NASCAR Cup Series regular season. The last time we raced here at Darlington Raceway in the spring, we saw a really good battle between Joey Logano and William Byron, where Joey Logano basically dumped William Byron into the outside wall, coming to the white flag. Logano looks to get his second win of the 2023 season, though, this weekend at Darlington. So, let's jump into picks. Before we go ahead and jump into picks, let's take a look at the weather for this weekend. So, it's going to be 88 degrees as a high with 62 degrees as a low, with right now a 20% chance of rain. So, no major issues for rain in the forecast this weekend. The weather is going to be really, really warm. Make sure to bring sunscreen over this weekend as well, and make sure to take care of yourself this weekend. A couple other things to note before the weekend. In the booth this weekend, in Stage 1, you're going to have Richard Petty and Kyle Petty. Kyle Petty works the NASCAR and NBC, will be on the Fox broadcast. And in Stage number 2 and Stage 3, you're going to have Carl Edwards making his first speak sign on TV probably since 2017. And Bill Elliott is going to be in the booth as well. Really stoked to see Carl Edwards going to be in the Fox Sports booth this weekend. So now, let's go ahead and jump into picks. But for those who are new to the channel, here's how picks work on the channel for the Cup Series. For this weekend, it's going to be a little different since it's a throwback weekend. We're going to have 3 suck picks, 3 drivers expect to struggle this weekend, 3 underdog picks, 3 drivers expect run really, really well under front equipment who have been having really strong runs as of recently. And I do my winner's pick, the driver thinks going to win. And we got 6 drivers you need to watch out for along with the race winner. So anyways, let's go ahead and jump into picks. Who are my suck picks for this weekend at Darlington? My first suck pick for the throwback race at Darlington is the driver of the 10 car for Stewart-Haas Racing, Aric Almirola. Aric Almirola has had a very bad 2023 season. Outside of finishing in the top 10 or even the top 5 at Martinsville, it has been a massive struggle for the driver of the 10 car. And Stewart-Haas Racing in general has seen the beat falling off, maybe outside of Kevin Harvick. They've been struggling in the 2023 season as an organization. So I think Aric Almirola is going to have a pretty bad run this weekend at Darlington. He's historically not done fantastic at Darlington throughout his career, and I unfortunately think that Aric Almirola is going to have a pretty bad run this weekend at Darlington. The second driver I think is going to struggle this weekend is the driver of the 14 car for Stewart-Haas Racing. That is Chase Briscoe. Chase Briscoe for the last couple weeks had a couple really strong runs. But over the last 2 weeks, Chase Briscoe has been struggling. He had a terrible run at Dover, had a terrible run at Kansas. And I unfortunately think Chase Briscoe, even though he's been decent throughout his career at Darlington Raceway, I think Chase Briscoe, unfortunately, is going to struggle this weekend at Darlington. I think, like I said, with Stewart-Haas Racing, they've not been very fast this year, and I think that number 14 car is not going to be running up front and contending at all. I think Chase Briscoe has a pretty bad run this weekend at Darlington. And the third and final driver I think that's going to suck this weekend at Darlington is the driver of 2 car for Team Penske, Austin Cindric. Austin Cindric, I looked up his stats, and in the last 6 races, Austin Cindric has only had 1 finish inside the top 20. In fact, only 1 finish inside the top 25. And Cindric's been okay at Darlington throughout his racing career, but I just sadly think this weekend you're going to see Austin Cindric struggle and basically finish outside the top 20 again. He's been on a really, really bad stretch. He's been on a really, really bad streak, and I think that bad streak is going to continue this weekend. I think he's going to struggle this weekend at Darlington. And now we'll go ahead and jump on to the underdog picks for this weekend at Darlington. Who are my underdog picks? My first underdog pick is a driver for the 23 car for 23XI Racing, Bubba Wallace. Bubba Wallace, outside of 1 finish where he basically crashed out of Talladega, he's been really turning this season around. He's had 4 top 15 finishes in the last 5 races, and Bubba Wallace has seemed to have a lot more speed, and I think he's getting more speed now than he had the previous 2 years at 23XI Racing. They're more set up at this point, and not to mention he's going to be running the Truck Series race as well, and he's been pretty fast at Darlington the last couple times we've been here, so I think that 23XI is going to be really strong, and I think Bubba Wallace is going to have a pretty fast car this weekend at Darlington. The second driver who is an underdog pick for me this weekend is a driver that until this year I would have put as one to watch, but this guy won the last time here at Darlington Raceway, and that is Erik Jones. Erik Jones, the reason I have as an underdog pick and not a race winner's pick is it seems like the 43 car has been struggling this season. But if there's a track where Erik Jones can really turn the corner around in a season, it is definitely Darlington Raceway. I think the 43 team is going to be really, really strong and really, really fast. And with how good Erik Jones has been here, I think he will absolutely be a threat and a pretty major contender to have a shot at the victory this weekend. He is definitely underdog pick me for this weekend. And the third and final driver who's an underdog pick for this weekend at Darlington Raceway is a driver who's been pretty good at Darlington throughout his career and is making his first start in the NASCAR Cup Series since 2021, Ryan Newman. That's right, Ryan Newman's back behind the wheel, and he's going to be in a Rick Ware racing car. But if there's anybody that can get the best out of a car, it is definitely Ryan Newman. We saw what he did with Ross Shelby before it came RFK Racing. And I think Ryan Newman's going to contend for top 15 or top 20 this weekend. I think, especially if they have SHR Alliance, I think that Ryan Newman will have a very strong chance and a shot to have a good run. I think Newman will be a big factor, maybe a top 15 or a top 20 this weekend. And now we'll go ahead and jump onto the winner's pick for this weekend at Darlington. Who is my winner's pick? My winner's pick is a driver who's come very, very close to winning at Darlington throughout his career. He has finished runner-up and many times at Darlington Raceway, both times in 2021 and also in 2018. Dominated that race, but had some issues, and he's consistently up front contending for victories at this track. Plus, he even ran the NASCAR Xfinity Series race. I am picking Kyle Larson to pick up his third victory of the 2023 NASCAR Cup Series season this weekend at Darlington. Kyle Larson, this is one of his best racetracks. And I think that, especially with the experience in Xfinity and with how good he's been at Darlington throughout his career, coming up close and short to winning, I think Kyle Larson's going to get 2 of the 3 wins this weekend. I think he's going to be really strong, very, very fast. And I think Hendrick Motorsports will bring up a very strong car to where I think he will have a great shot to get the victory. And he's my pick to win this weekend at Darlington. And now we'll go ahead and jump onto the drivers you need to watch out for this weekend at Darlington. Who are the drivers I'm keeping my eyes out on? The first driver you should watch out for is a driver of the 9 car for Hendrick Motorsports, and that is Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott's been making up a lot of ground in the point standings. I believe right now he's only 79 points below the cutoff line where he needs to be, and Chase Elliott almost needs to pick up a win. When we look at the stats at Darlington, Chase Elliott has historically been really strong and very, very fast. And I expect Hendrick Motorsports to bring a really strong car for Chase Elliott this weekend, where I think he'll contend for a top 5, and I think he has a really good shot to potentially get his first win at Darlington Raceway. He's been great at this track. I think Chase Elliott has a shot to get the victory. The second driver you should watch out for this weekend at Darlington is a driver of the 45 car for 2311 Racing, Tyler Reddick. Tyler Reddick's going to be able to use the outside lane quite a bit. And if there's anybody that's really good, maybe outside of Kyle Larson, who can run the outside lane, it is definitely Tyler Reddick. I expect 2311 to be really, really strong. They were really good at both races last year. I think that Tyler Reddick will be very, very, very strong this weekend. I think 2311 gives them a really strong car, especially with how good he's been at Darlington. I think Tyler Reddick's going to have a good chance to be a contender. The third driver you should watch out for this weekend at Darlington is a driver of the 24 car for Hendrick Motorsports, William Byron. William Byron has been really fast in the 2023 season. He scored 2 victories, and William Byron almost won this race last year in the spring before getting tapped by Joey Logano. I think William Byron does definitely have a shot to potentially get some redemption, and I think he'll be very, very fast this weekend. I expect Byron to be a contender and be a threat. The fourth driver to watch out for this weekend at Darlington is a driver of the 8 car for Rich Choice Racing, Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch has been pretty good at Darlington Raceway, and I think that Rich Choice Racing has also been really fast at Darlington as well. This car finished, I believe, in 3rd place in the Southern 500. I expect Kyle Busch to be very, very strong, very, very quick, and I think RSR is going to be fast as well, so I expect Kyle Busch to have a shot to get the victory. The fifth driver to watch out for this weekend at Darlington is the most recent winner at Kansas Speedway, picking up his 49th career victory, and a driver's won at Darlington many, many times, Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin's one of the best at field when it comes to racing at Darlington. And I think Denny Hamlin's really starting to pick up a lot of pace and speed, and I think he is becoming a championship threat really, really quickly. I expect Denny Hamlin to be a big factor, expect him to be a threat, and have a really good chance to get the victory in the Goodyear 400. And the sixth and final driver you should watch out for this weekend at Darlington is a driver of the 1 car for Trackhouse Racing, and that is Ross Chastain. Ross Chastain is basically one you should watch out for multiple reasons. One, if he's going to get into it with somebody. Or number 2, with how fast he's been. He's been the regular season points leader for the last 2 weeks, and it seems like outside of winning, he's been really consistent and upfront. I expect Chastain to be a major factor. I expect him to be a contender, and I think Trackhouse Racing is going to give him a really strong car this weekend at Darlington. So, those are my race picks for this weekend at Darlington. Just a reminder, my suck picks are Eric Almirola, Chase Briscoe, Austin Cindric. My underdog picks are Bubba Wallace, Eric Jones, Brian Newman. My winner's pick is Kyle Larson, and the ones to watch are Chase Elliott, Tyler Reddick, William Byron, Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin, and Ross Chastain. Those are my race picks. So, that is going to be it for the race picks video for the NASCAR Cup Series race at Darlington. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe to the channel, notifications on so if I win a video, does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support me on Patreon as well. Link description below over that, and comment below your thoughts below and your picks below for this weekend at Darlington. Let me know your suck picks, let me know your underdog picks, and let me know your race winners pick, and let me know the drivers you're watching out for this weekend at Darlington. Tomorrow on the channel, we're going to have 2 videos on the channel. We're going to have a NASCAR news video, and we're also going to have the Truck Series race review from Darlington. Then on Saturday, we have the NASCAR Xfinity Series race review from Darlington. And then on Sunday, we're going to have the NASCAR Cup Series race review from Darlington. A lot of great content along the way. And then the next week, we got North Wilkesboro coming up, which is really, really exciting, and a lot of fun content dropping on the channel as well. Should be really exciting. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.